Namaste to all of you. Very, very good morning. It's my proud privilege and pleasure to welcome all of you to participate in Yoga Shastra Sangaman 2021. I especially extend my prayers to Swamiji, who is in charge of Adi Shankara Brahma Vidya Pita, Uttarkashi. I also extend my heartfelt welcome to our Nivita Devi, Vice President of Vivekananda Kendra Activity. All my delegates who have come from various parts of our country present here today for this Yoga Shastra Sangam, and my dear sisters and brothers. We all know that Vivekananda Kendra Activity organizes this Yoga Shastra Sangamam for the last 4 years. Our first was in 2018, 19, 20, 21. This is the fourth one. The purpose is to go more deep into the Yoga Shastras as part of our cultural heritage, and that's why we all are here. We all will be here for next 3 days, trying to understand all the different aspects of yoga through the lectures as well as regular presentations. You all know that Vivekananda Kendra is a spiritually oriented service organization established in 1972 by Mananiya Eknathji Ranade, who was also the spirit behind Vivekananda Rock Memorial. In fact, yesterday, the 7th January, was the day in 1972 when Vivekananda Kendra was established. So we are also participants of 50 years of Vivekananda Rock Memorial, a national monument, which was completed in 1970s, and we are already completed 50 years of that. We are also becoming part and parcel of that great celebration. So on this very auspicious occasion, I welcome you all. Pray that all you get enriched by this conference and become the active member of PK family, which is expanding day by day. Thank you very much. Dhanyawad.
Thank you, Vishwas. Mananiya Shri Nivedita Kedri. Didi is Vice President of Vivekananda Kendra. Joined in the year 77 to Vivekananda Kendra activities. She started doing development projects and into education. She worked more on that. And she has become Vice President of Vivekananda Kendra in the year 1995. She has been awarded Padma Shri in the year 2017. I request Didi to bless the gathering.
श्रद्धेय स्वामी हरिब्रह्मेंद्रानंद जी, माननीय बालकृष्ण जी, President of Vivekananda Kendra, all sisters and brothers who have come for Yoga Shastra Sangamam, Vivekananda Kendra Karyakartas, my namaskars to you all. We are very happy that though this is COVID-19 effect is still continuing in the country, we are actually conducting, not online conducting Yoga Shastra Sangamam. But of course, it has affected the participation. Otherwise, we used to have 2-3 parallel sessions because so many papers used to come for presenting in Yoga Shastra Sangamam. But this time we will be having only one place the sessions will be going on. And we are very fortunate that we have got Swami Haribrahmendraనంద ji, who will be explaining to us Patanjali Yoga Sutras. In Vivekananda Kendra, the founder of Vivekananda Kendra, Mananiya Eknathji Ranade, he insisted that yoga is a shastra, is a darshan, and it should not be reduced to therapy. It is, in a way, Atmahanan of the shastra. It's what is for the complete realization of ourself that we are using only to cure our body problems. So, It should not be reduced. Our Rishi should not be, in a way, humiliated like this. So from the beginning, he said that Vivekananda Kendra, an organization which is for man-making, nation-building, for such organization, yoga becomes the core. Because as we know that our rebuilding of our nation is not only for the sake of our nation, but the whole world, as we know, is passing through a very difficult phase. It is the phase of disintegration of the families, of the communities, of the societies, disintegration of man himself. Even body, mind, intellect are not together. Again, it is excessive exclusivism and individualism. Excessive individualism as well as uh, ex- exclusivism. That is, my religion alone is true, my God alone is true, all others gods are false. So going beyond the forms, how we all are interconnected, interrelated, interdependent. Actually, it is this way which has manifested as many Ecoham Bausyam. So this affliction of disintegration which is there at present in human society, for that India alone can become the guide. India alone can help with her yoga darshan, yoga shastra. And therefore, when, as Swami Vivekananda also he said, that each nation has a message to fulfill, a mission to accomplish, a destiny, a message to deliver, a destiny to fulfill. And what is the message that India has to give to the world? That we are all interconnected, interrelated, interdependent, and therefore our life should be based on that oneness. But we don't feel that oneness. So we are all one. We don't feel it. Why don't we feel it? Because our chitta is not calmed down. Our chitta is impure. And therefore we need practice. And it is that practice, that whole complete Shastra, today's Western psychology is not even near it. In Guwahati, we had one well-wisher, now she is no more, just a few months before she passed away. She had done her PhD thesis comparing Western psychology with Patanjali Yoga Darshan. And the conclusion was that Western psychology is just entering the realm, but understanding the mind, its powers, its nature, and then tightening it down, we have a complete Shastra. That means if you do this way, this is what it will happen. It is not a speculative philosophy. So it is this significance of yoga darshan we should understand. But somehow it has happened, the yoga has got limited only to therapeutic use, and which should not happen. If really our nation has to guide the world, if really our philosophy has to reach the world, and the human being, all the problems that we see in the world, they ultimately come down to a human being. And those problems can be solved only if he is with evolved consciousness. And for that evolved consciousness, just the lectures and the speculative philosophies will not do. But it will need a practice. It will need really inculcating of those values which starts with yama niyama, as we know in Patanjali Yoga Darshan. And therefore, this Yoga Shastra we should understand, inculcate. We become the example. Our individual life, our family life, our community life, our institutions, they are all based on oneness. How then they will be run? And it is through examples only the abstract philosophy can be understood, the world can understand it and practice it. And that's how India will be able to help guide the whole world. That is why Eknathji chose yoga as the core of Vivekananda Kendra. So, core of Vivekananda Kendra, it means he said it's not only the yoga activities what Kendra has, like Yoga Shiksha Shivir, Yoga Varga, Yoga Sutra, but in any activity, whosoever gets associated with Vivekananda Kendra, in two ways, we reach out to him. One is that we have to transform our life by using this Shastra given by our Rishis, by practicing this. And second, that one has manifested as family, society, nation, and the whole creation. So as long as I am in body consciousness, I must employ my body, mind, intellect in the service of the family, of the community, society, nation, to bring the harmony in all that. So this two-way practice, matchmaking, nation building, or we can say two-fold yoga practice, that is transforming our life, raising ourselves, as well as serving the society. So these two thoughts should go to anyone whosoever gets associated with Vivekananda Kendra. And that's how Eknathji, since the beginning, in those days, Ramdev Baba, Shri Shri Ravi Shankar, who have popularized yoga so much, they were not even heard, they were not on the scene. But it is that time Eknathji made yoga as the core of Vivekananda Kendra. And therefore, since 4 years, as was told by Vishwaji, our Yoga Shastra Sangaman is creating that interest in Shastra. And very young boys come and present the papers here. They study different Shastras related to yoga. But as I told you, though due to COVID-19, many could not come, but still we are happy that we are actually meeting each other. And we have person like Swami Vivekananda to guide us in Patanjali Yoga Darshan. With these words, I conclude. Thank you.
Didi, I will now request Didi to give a token of love and affection to Swamiji. Thank you so much. Swamiji will begin a session. Here in these 3 days, he is going to give us Patanjali Yoga Sutras, 4 padas. So today, now onwards, he will start. First, Samadhi pada he will begin today in the morning. In the evening, Samadhi pada will be there. Tomorrow, Kaivalya pada, Vibhuti pada, then Kaivalya pada. Before they arrange, I will give a short introduction of Swamiji. Swami Hari Vivekananda Kendra. Swamiji was born in December 1978 in Thiruvananthapuram, Kerala. In his childhood, he was guided by Swami, his Guru, Swami Vivekananda Kendra in his spiritual journey. Swamiji's Guru is hailed from Karnataka and was revered by his family members as well. As a child, Swamiji became an adept in the puja system of worship of all the pervading divine because of the loving fatherly training imparted by Acharya Yogananda Nandji. In April 1994, when Swamiji finished his 9th standard, he started his journey to Himalayas, reached Uttarkashi. He started studies with, he met Swami Chaitanyanandaji Saraswati Maharaj there in Uttarkashi, with whom he started his study of scriptures. Likewise, he studied so many scriptures, all the spirituality related, like Shraddharshanas, Dhantaramudi, Nyaya, Tatra, everything. Now Swamiji is giving lectures on Patanjali Yoga Sutras, Brahma Sutras, like all these scriptures. Swamiji is from Sri Shankara, Sri Adi Shankara, Brahma Mad from Uttarkashi, that is called as Somashram also. I request Swamiji to begin.
कर्णे शृणुयामदेवा पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्रा स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्पृष्ट्वांसस्तनूभिर्विषेम एव इदं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति न पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्ताक्ष्यो वरिष्ठनेमि स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ योगेन चित्तस्य बलेन वाचा बलं शरीरस्य च वैद्यकेन उपाकरोत्रं अवरं मुनीनां पदञ्जलिं प्राजयानतुस् पदञ्जलिं प्राजयानतुस् नमस्ते विवेकानंद केंद्र के अध्यक्ष विवेकानंद जी, वेदिका जी, और सभी उपस्थित साधक एवं जिज्ञासु, ये बहुत ही अच्छा अवसर है। हम इतने दूर से यात्रा करके केंद्र के इस विशेष सत्र योग संगम में भाग लेने आए। योग शास्त्र के संबंध में आप सभी जानते हैं। So I am fortunate to be here. As we all know, this Yoga Sangam means something special. Although we had cancelled all our other programs because of COVID-19, but sometimes let's see that God also makes some special opportunity, not for us, but for the environment, to give rest to the environment. This is something that is happening. So whatever may be the reason, so we have one correct, accurate reason. That is, we call as cosmic karma. This COVID is also a cosmic karma is working out. And we are gathered here because of the same cosmic karma. So let us enter directly into the Shastra because we have a limited time. So in 4 sessions, I will be trying to complete some of the sutras. I don't say all 195 sutra I can complete. And take important sutras which is specially connected to the sadhana, what we require. And of course, we need to know some basic philosophy of Yoga Shastra, based on which the Yoga Shastra give us the teachings. As we know, this Yoga Shastra, Patanjali Yoga Darshana, is based on Sankhya philosophy, which is the oldest philosophy in that tradition, that category. Because the word philosophy we use for Darshana Shastras, we won't speak about philosophy regarding Veda. Veda is not a philosophy. Because Veda consists of Karma Kanda, Upasana Kanda, and some part of Vedantic philosophy. Veda is a complete Shastra which gives you the way to live completely. Complete in the sense, in one life, you can achieve all the 4 Purusharthas: Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. So, Veda has given this method how to live the life to complete all these Purusharthas. But these philosophies, as we call it, Darshana Shastras, they are more or less connected to the Moksha Shastras. Mainly they are discussing about Moksha, not of Karma Kanda. You see, Mimamsa, because Mimamsa is directly connected to Veda, so it has Karma Kanda, but other than Mimamsa, all are directly discussing Moksha Shastra. So this is the little difference. About more on Shastras we will discuss on next section. We have a special session, because if I go for discussing Vedas and Shastras, may take our time here. So we have to enter into the first chapter according to the subject of discussion here. We know that Patanjali Yoga Darshana has 4 chapters, 4 padas it is called. This means the word pada, when it is used, there is a subtle meaning conveyed. It means when you take all those 4 padas, the message is completed. So like one part, second part, third part, fourth part. 1/4 of the message is called pada. So each pada has a different discussion, but the conveyed message is one and the same. The first pada has 51 sutras. The pada is called Samadhi Pada. The various samadhis are discussed here, with the subtlest form of meditation techniques are discussed. Samprajnata, Nasamprajnata, all variations. Therefore, this pada is called Samadhi pada. And the second pada has 55 sutras. It is called Sadhana pada. And third pada is Vibhuti pada. It's like when sadhaka proceed his sadhana, grow into his sadhana levels, get some special siddhis, special achievement, accomplishment. That is called vibhutis. The special abilities. Bhuti means Aishwarya, is like you got something very special as your achievement. It's called Bhuti. Vibhuti means special achievements. You know, in Gita also there is a Vibhuti pada. And the fourth pada, that is the last one, has 34 sutras. It is actually summarizing the first pada and second pada with some special discussions on karma and the achievement of vibhutis and in practices. The karma theory and the rebirth theory is discussed there. And then, of course, the summary of the Shastra, that is Kaivalya, is also discussed. The main aim, main achievement of Yoga Sutras is Kaivalya, not Samadhi. Even Asamprajnata Samadhi is a sadhana. This we have to remember. Now, as a short introduction, what is this yoga means here? Like we say Yoga Shastra, Patanjali Yoga Darshanam, we say the philosophy of yoga. From here, the word yoga in Patanjali is little different as we know. Because I want to mention this point, because the word yoga is very famous in different meanings. So, Sastra and Google, you may get like more than 40,000 varieties of yoga. So all are teaching, preaching yogas. But here in Patanjali Yoga Darshana, the word yoga means yoga chitta vritti nirodha. The definition will come in the second sutra. The yoga is samadhi. Because the Vyasa Bhashya directly says yoga samadhi. But we know sometimes it is not like yoga means union. Union of Jivatma and Paramatma, many types of union. And Ida and Pingala union. And with the all-pervading consciousness, the individual consciousness is one with all-pervading consciousness. Again, union is not. But according to the Patanjali system, here, because Patanjali system, as I told, is following Sankhya system of philosophy. Sankhya system, Prakriti and Purusha is different entities, different tattvas. The separation of Prakriti and Purusha is the ultimate knowledge that is called Vivekananda. And with this ultimate knowledge, you realize the all-pervadingness of consciousness, the cosmic consciousness as yourself. This is called Kaivalya. Kevalasya Bhavaha Kaivalya. The ultimate aloneness. So it means there in some stage you had some mixing with something else. So you identify yourself with something else, that which is not you. Therefore, you have to separate. The separation is with knowledge, not with any action. Action can help to make the mind ready to achieve the knowledge directly and correctly. So this is the method. So that ultimate separation, that is called Vivekananda, the knowledge we get is in between Prakriti and Purusha. We know what is Prakriti and its manifestations, and we know what is consciousness and its existence within us. So this is the ultimate knowledge as we have in Vedanta as Brahmajnana. Here is Vivekananda. The ultra discriminative knowledge is translated in English because in English we don't find correct words for many of the technical terms used in philosophies. But the scholars made some words like ultra discriminative knowledge. That is Vivekananda. Ultra because it is the subtlest discrimination that we can have. So this way, after Vivekananda, the aloneness is experienced. Now the aloneness is not achieved. Aloneness is not gained, because this word gaining means you are going to gain something which is not you. But here it is experienced after this distribution state of mind. So this is the ultimate knowledge we get from all our sadhana, as just now Didi mentioned quoting Vivekananda. This philosophy is to gain the knowledge, gain the ultimate realization. It's not just for physical exercise or practical exercise. It's part of that because you need to maintain your body and mind for certain sadhanas. You need to discipline your body's functions. Otherwise, nothing is possible. As we know, we want to achieve something, we have to discipline ourselves for that purpose. Similarly, we have a well-established discipline that is called yoga sadhana that goes up to the asamprajnata samadhi. The asamprajnata samadhi, including asamprajnata samadhi, is yoga discipline, yoga sadhana. Kaivalya is that. So what I am trying to say here the yoga means not union. Yoga means samadhi. And Kaivalya is that realization. The Vivekananda is the means, direct means for that realization. So the yoga here, it is a separation of Prakriti and Purusha. So once you experience the Asamprajnata Samadhi, you get such a subtlest mind, perfect mind, which can correctly distinguish, define the consciousness and the Prakriti. So for that very special kind of mind, you need to practice samadhi. No other way. So you start from Yama Niyama, Ashtanga Yoga, slowly enter into the Samprajnata level, and then to the samadhi. Therefore, yoga samadhi. The problem is, in Sanskrit, there are three dhatus, same dhatus like uja. From out of three dhatus, we can make yoga. Because the uju dhatu, uja dhatu, you will get the same as yoga if you do Kaya Pratyaya. That is the problem, because the other two dhatus, the first dhatu says samyamane. You just samyamane one dhatus. This is first conjugation and 10th conjugation. We are asking about Sanskrit. There are 10 conjugations. Ganas. The first gana and 10th gana has the same dhatu. And then comes Yujira Yoga. So most of the commentators of yoga philosophy, they took the Yujira Yoga as yoga. Even Max Muller took this and he wrote whatever he wrote on yoga. After that, everybody followed. Nobody had the patience to see the original dhatu or even in Vyasa Bhasha. Because Vyasa Bhasha directly says yoga means samadhi. You can see in Sanskrit translation. So usually yoga means that is your joining. Yoga, joining. Like we get some yoga, combined of many things. The union meaning is there in that usual yoga. But then comes Ujjara Samadho. It is the fourth conjugation. And there is a technical difference that is also connected to Vyakarana, Sanskrit grammar. You may be knowing that. Akarma and Sakarma. Transitive verb and intransitive verb. So transitive verb has different forms and intransitive verb has different forms. And this Yujana Samadho Dhatu is intransitive verb. It has no object as such. Yujane iti yogaha. But the Yujana Yoga root, Dhatu, is transitive. It means you connect something. So there is an object. There is a subject, object and verb. Three will be there. But in intransitive verbs, there is no object. Only subject and verb. It means the meaning is directly there. So the Yujana Yoga cannot be for Yoga Shastra because there is no object which is connecting or there is no joining. And the connector and the connected object is not different. Here it says you are already misunderstood, misidentified yourself with. You have separated. You misidentified yourself with the body and mind and taking on the sufferings of samsara. So you have to separate. So this is the word meaning of Yoga Shastra. That is, this is Samadhi Yoga. Now we go. Now we have half an hour of the first chapter. So I will just chant the sutras as our tradition. Some of the sutras. You like to chant with me, can chant. Adhas samadhipada prathamaha Adhayogamshasanam Yogaschittavrittirodhaha Tadadrishtu surupevasthanam. So the first sutra is called Adhikar Sutra. It is a style of sutra composing. What you are going to discuss, just mentions there. Atha Yoga Anushasana. The subject of yoga, the discussion of yoga is going to start. But there is a word, special word is Anushasana. Atha means from here, or because of this reason, or something we can say, because Atha has many meanings. And even for Mangalacharana also we use Atha. Omkarascha, Shabdascha, Dvave, Dhobramana Pura. This is a famous shloka. So yoga Anushasanam. Anushasanam means Patanjali wants to convey a special message. This is not composed by me. The author of Yoga Shastra is not me. I am just comparing the Yoga Shastra which is already available, which is traditionally there. Anu Shasanam. Anu means I got from my tradition, Acharya Parampara, as a Shasana. Shasana is also Guru Shishya, because the Shasana, a special kind of teaching in Gurukulas, it is called Shasana. So the Yoga Anushasana, I got this knowledge from my teachers. I am delivering, I am comparing that for the benefit of society, for the sadhakas. That is called Yoga Anushasana. And then, as the sutra system, the word is the first sutra, which are the words. If any of the word is special or unknown, then you have to define it. So now the subject itself is yoga, and Atha Yoga Anushasana. Three words are there. The second word is compound. Even then we can say three words. So the Atha is very famous, and Anushasana is also known because people know what is Anushasana. Now the word yoga should be defined because this Shastra is Yoga Shastra. Therefore, the second sutra comes the definition of yoga. Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. I will say here, yoga is Samadhi Asati. We have known now. So yoga, Samadhi, and that is what it is. Samadhi is Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Chitta Vritti Nam Nirodha. So now we have Chitta, Vritti and Nirodha. Three more words to know. So what is Chitta? What is Vritti and what is Nirodha? It is defined there. Chitta in Yoga Shastra is not mind. Mind for Yoga Shastra, mind is like Manaha. It's a different word is there. Chitta is not intellect. Chitta, here in the Yoga Shastra, Chitta is combined of samskaras, vasanas, and sankalpa vikalpatmaka mind, and intellect, and even ego, ahankara. The subconscious mind, unconscious mind, and conscious mind, everything is one here, as Chitta. But when you read English translation, you will get only the word as mind. It is a part of Chitta. The Chitta Vritti. So if you want to say mind, you can say that Vritti is mind. It's more correct than saying the Chitta is mind. So yoga Chitta Vritti na Nirodha. This Chitta is like a ocean. Vritti is like the waves. The waves are formed on the surface of ocean. And the energy and the existence of vrittis are based on chitta. So it is formed in a different level whenever it is needed. So we know Pramana Vibhane Vikalpa Nidra Sthitaya, these are defined. So we can say the thought process we have. These are called vrittis. Different kinds of thought process. So chitta vrittina nirodha. So now nirodha means you have to reduce, starting from reducing. And at last, the chitta vrittis should disappear its own. Not because of concentration. The concentration is also one kind of samadhi that we call Vivekananda samadhi. But the ultimate nirodha is restraining the vrittis. Completely restraining the vrittis. There is no chance to come up with vrittis. This happens with Abhyasa Vairagya and Nirodha. 11th Sutra will come. 12th Sutra, Abhyasa Vairagya. So you need Abhyasa and Vairagya. Constant practice, continuous practice with Vairagya. Then we can achieve this Nirodha. So as I told, I have no, because when I take up the sutras, I have very difficulty to escape something. But I want to go with all that. But unfortunately, it is not possible. It is like a test for me. So, Vritti Sarukya Vidaratha. And then the next sutra says, I'm skipping one sutra, I will come back to the third sutra. It says, in other stages, when there is no nirodha, what happens? Vritti Sarupya Vidaratra. We are identifying ourselves with the vrittis. If you are happy, happiness is a thought process, you know. So you are identifying yourself with the happiness, the thought process called happiness, then you say, I am happy. So this is called Vritti Sarupya. So Vritti Sarupya Itaratra, in other stages, when there is no Nirodha, when there is no Ekagra, so you are identifying yourself. Even a scholarly person, a very sattvic good sadhaka, if he gets angry, he is identifying himself. So it means this process is very natural. It's like it is naturally happening. Like you have other bodily functions. The mind has this function. If one thought is there, you are identifying with that. The fear comes, you are identifying. Although you know this is not right, but it happens naturally. So this naturally happening process is called Sarupya. Vritti Sarupya. The Sarupya, the word means identifying. But only that. So Vritti Sarupya Vidaratra, which is not good for our life. We have to observe and analyze the vrittis. It means you are observer and the vrittis are there, you have to see which vritti is coming to my mind at present? What is the purpose? Why it is there? Is it the right place, right time to come or not? This way, if you observe the vrittis, you make the vrittis an object, you can separate yourself from this sarupya, the identification. This is a good practice. You need a very serious practice for this. So this thought process will be very correctly guided. What you want in a particular time, that will appear into your mind. So this way you can control the mind. If you want some thoughts in the morning or your purpose to complete, the mind will only bring those thoughts. Timingly you can adjust. So the benefit is, when that particular thought process is on, you will get the complete concentration and complete energy of the mind for that thought process and for complete the action connected with the thought. This is the benefit you are going to get with the yoga sadhana. You can say the first kind of result. So you can control your mind with the awareness. Most of the time, we are unnecessarily thinking. We are bringing so many unnecessary thoughts into our mind, which is taking our energy, because any thought comes to the mind will take your energy from your brain. So you feel tired, because necessary thoughts are also taking energy and unnecessary thoughts are also taking energy. Because we are unable to distinguish and unable to regulate the thought. So when it is possible to regulate the thought, you get more energy. That is this argument that says. Now you got the nirodha, and you controlled your this arupya, and in the stage of nirodha, what would happen to the mind, the chitta? Where the chitta will stand? When the object is there in the mind, the chitta can stand with that. If there is no object, like the child is crying for play, child wants to play. So you know the child is trying to crying for playing. What you do? You will bring some objects and give to the child, so the child is calm. Similarly, when the mind is active, mind needs some object to catch hold of. So you give some object, then mind is still with that. Actually, as natural process, mind is not ready to be restrained or controlled, nirodha, but it wants to be with the objects. So these vrittis in different levels appears, and when there is no vrittis, now where this chitta can stand, rest, that is drashtu swarupe avasthanam. When there is no thought, the chitta will rest on the Atma itself. Drashtu swarupe avasthanam. It has no other way to go than to rest on itself. The consciousness, because chitta is active with consciousness. activated with the consciousness. So the whole source of energy is consciousness. That is within you. So now we can say when there is no thought, where chitta rests within you. So we have an experience, daily experience in Sushupti, the same experience. When there is no thought, no activities of mind, the mind rests itself in Sushupti. The Upanishad says, you don't know what is Samadhi. Because to achieve that Samadhi in consciousness state, you need to do a lot of sadhana. And what is the proof of that? If we achieve the Samadhi, what would happen to our mind and ourselves? What we can achieve? Any proof? So the Shastra gives this proof. You see your Sushupti, deep sleep state. Without thought process, you are still alive, you are enjoying bliss there, happiness there, free of all sorrows and pain. Swarupa Avasthanam is action. So the Nirodha, an example for Nirodha is Sushupti. It's only an example because it is a natural process. You cannot stay a long time in Sushupti. So after that, output karmas to be activated. This stage of chitta, the 5 stages are described for the sake of understanding in Vyasa Bhashya. So though in those stages, chitta is activated with the vrittis. So first stage is called chitta. And second stage, mudha. And third stage, vikshipta. Fourth stage, ekagra. And the fifth one is nirodha. So chitta, just to do one sentence, chitta is uncontrolled, activated mind. So bundle of different thoughts. Chitta is always fluctuating. And mudha is like a half unconscious stage. Mudha. We say sometimes moha. Moha is also the usually state of mind. And vikshipta is like normally we have vikshipta state of chitta. Then sometimes we have good thoughts and controlled thoughts, and sometimes uncontrolled thoughts. Like we are sitting here to listen to the Yoga Sutra. Sometimes we are concentrated to the words, to the lecture, but sometimes we have some other thoughts just between entering. So this stage is called vikshipta. And then comes ekagra, which is very useful for sadhana. Ekagra, we all know, one-pointedness of mind, the concentrated mind. And then the last stage, in which the asamprajnana samadhi occurs, that is nirodha. So the even asamprajnana samadhi is also a development of chitta. Asamprajnana is a samadhi, although there is no thought process, but that is also a development of chitta. Thoughtlessness, because in for the Sankhya philosophy, chalam gunavrittam, The three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, three gunas are always chalas, chanchala. They always in a process of manifesting. Manifesting and keep on manifesting. And this nirodha is also a manifestation. They say even in Samya Avastha, Prakriti Samya Avastha is also a manifestation. Very interesting discussion. Studies Sangaman, we have that. It's a primary state of creation. Even that is maintained. Laya is also a creation of gunas. It is discussed in Vedanta Sutras, Brahma Sutras, second chapter, second pada. There is one adhikarana is called Smriti Adhikarana. There this subject is discussed. So now we covered 4 sutras about the vrittis. Just I mentioned the name of the vrittis. So there are 5 kinds of vrittis. The chitta, mudha, vikshipta, ekagra, nirodha. These are the stages of chitta. You have to remember, they are not vrittis. They are the stages of appearance of chitta. These are the vrittis. If you want to count your thoughts, is it possible you ever tried to count your thoughts? No. But you have to count. Because you want to make a regulation, you must know how many thoughts are passing through my mind. You must have some idea, no? how can you say how we are going to regulate? People say it is not possible to count, but it is quite possible. And we tried, I tried, and I have succeeded in 1 year. 1 year to make and studied it. It helped me a lot how to count. Because I took as a challenge, whenever we listen to the lectures, the teachers would say, oh, the thoughts, no, ginti nahi hai. So I said, why not? It is happening in our mind. We know what is coming there. Why we cannot count? So you must count. So I tried for many weeks. Then after long time, I got the technique how to count. So after counting, you will get a category. So you know these categories of thoughts are there in my mind. And I will directly say the technique how to count. To count the thoughts, you must have a fixed schedule of lifestyle. Very, very disciplined lifestyle. So first make disciplined lifestyle, then try. Because you know when I wake up, what would be my thinking? What will be my planning? If you know the correct timing, so you can say, oh, I will think about going to the bathroom and brushing and taking bath, and then and the next thought will be going to office or what. So like that, no, there is a system. Because mind cannot work without a system. Mind is made with perfectly planned, organized system, like computer. So like a computer, like mobile phone you have. So you can do it if your life is disciplined. So the thought will come accordingly. Then you will be more happy that you know, so next thing I am going to do this. The pre-planning can do well pre-planning. So this way we count. So Patanjali has given the categories: Pramana, Viparyaya, Nidra, Smriti. So Pramana, thoughts of Pramanas, Viparyaya, Vikalpa, Nidra and Smriti. These are the categories. So this explanation of everything you can see in your translations. So each one is explained like that. then our aim of yoga to control these pramana vipare vikalpa nidra smritis, because the nidra is also included. You have to remember it. For Patanjali, even nidra is a vritti. It is also a function of mind. The nidra vritti is called. Although we see there is no vritti in nidra, but that itself is a vritti. Because tamoguna vritti is there, then we experience the nidra. Abhava pratyaya alambana vritti nidra. So we experience that there was no thought. So that itself is a thought. How can you say there is no thought? There is no thought. There is a thought which is subtle, which is unseen and unexperienced. But thought process is continuing. Very subtle. Therefore, it is called Nidra Vritti. So, these five vrittis. Now, these five vrittis can be controlled, disciplined, regulated by Abhyasa and Vairagya. Abhyasa Vairagya Abhyam Tannirodha. Tatrasthido yatno abhyasah Sadudirghakala nairangarya sattara sevido dridabhogi Krishnanushraviga vishaya krishnasya vashikara samya vairagyam. So, Abhyasa and Vairagya. In Gita we know when Arjuna asked, how can I control my mind? Chanchalam Himana Krishna Pramada Veravadrikam. So Krishna says, Abhyasa and Vairagya, Kaunteya Vairagya. You can see the connection. Not only here, in Sanjay Sutra also there is a similar sutra, Abhyasa Vairagya. If you summarize the sadhana, this is after two. Abhyasa, practice, and Vairagya, renunciation. Actually, this renunciation is not the correct word here. Detachment. It's a perfect detachment. Detachment is a bhava, a function of mind. Essentially, the mind has this thought of detachment. How? Because you don't take unnecessary objects. You don't entertain unnecessary thoughts in your mind. That is detachment. So we need a detachment here, like not detaching your wealth or your friends or things like that. Object outside is like a very gross type of detachment. But the main detachment we need here for a sadhana is not entertaining unnecessary thoughts. As I told you, it will take your energy because the energy is limited. In 24 hours, body creates a certain amount of energy. It has to maintain with that energy. It has to maintain the physical body and functions of the body as well as your mind. 25% of that energy, which is biologically created in the body, is taken away by brain. Only part of the 75% we use for all other actions. Therefore, we have to control and regulate the energy to fulfill our desires. People say if you meditate or concentrate, you get more energy and your thoughts will be fulfilled. How it is possible? Psychologically, it is possible in this way. Because your thoughts will get more energy and strength to work on. So you give the concentrated mind. Therefore, Abhyasa and Vairagya is very essential for sadhakas. And Patanjali defines what is Abhyasa. Tatra sthitau yatnah abhyasa. Yatnah means effort. Sthiti means it is the stage you achieve, that is called sthiti. Then you have practiced for some time and you are established in a stage of mind. So that is defined after this Prashantavadita sthiti. The sutra will come out. So mind is calm and cool. Only the object of meditation is there, other than that everything is gone. As I said, what you want, that is there in your mind. What you don't want, unnecessary, it is not there. Then you are cool and calm. Like you are sitting here for 1.5 hours. His mind is prepared. Mind says, okay, you are sitting here for 1.5 hours. Then you will get the full energy of mind to sit here for 1.5 hours. Then after 1.5 hours, if I lengthen my lecture, you will be bored. It means the brain says, no, I exhausted my energy, now you have to go and do something else. Because you said 1.5 hours, you are sitting more, it is not correct. You see how correctly mind works. Because it gives a auto suggestion to the system that this person is going to sit for 1.5 hours, only for 1.5 hours. After that, he will be taking tea. So this is already suggested. Now you go lengthen the thing that you will not accept. So you will feel bored. So the body, because we are not getting energy in the mind. If you see but every day action, each action is contained and planned by this. This is the system of mind, what I was trying to say. So it is systematically planned. If you follow that, you can do everything. You can work for 20 hours. You need 4 hours rest to refresh every day. So this is the way we have to control. That sthiti is called the perfection of mind. That is tatra sthito yatna abhyasa. Then how it is that abhyasa? Because abhyasa you can do sometimes weekly once, monthly twice, yearly thrice. So it can be abhyasa. So, but if the Patanjali elaborately here he is mentioning sa dirghakala nairantarya satkara asevito. So the abhyasa should be for a dirghakala, for a long time spans, for many years, according to the adhikari stages that will come after this. There is madhyama, uttama, and adhikaris. And dirghakala can be, like I said, twice in a month and like that. It can be dirghakala for many years. We are doing practice weekly once. So it can be for many years. But it says nairantarya should be regularly and daily. Nairantarya. And what is the supporting process? Satkaras, or the sadgunas, which are famous in Shastras. So you have to adopt those gunas, then practice. So satkara asevido dridha bhumi. Then it becomes very strong and well established. You don't have to worry about practice. If you have this relation, continuity, and the sadgunas. Because the sadgunas will help you to practice. As I said, mind will automatically say, you have to do this. You have to sit for meditation for 1 hour. So it will come from inside. You will automatically do the meditation and the effect will be there. So this is abhyasa. And vairagya, we all know, detachment from the known objects and unknown objects. The objects which we imagine, in other words, like Swargam or happiness there, because we are not satisfied with the objects and happiness here. So we want more. So those are called Anushranika, because we only heard about from our parampara. Drishta means the object we have different kinds of. So Drishta Anushranika Vishaya Vidrishnasya. The Vidrishna is detachment. So you detach yourself from unnecessary objects. The object which is needed for your sadhana, that should be well connected. But the objects which are not necessary for your life, don't get it in. Don't entertain even a thought regarding it. In practice, it is possible. It doesn't mean you completely give up your desires. Sometimes commentators say that you give up your desires. But I never find in any of our shastras to say that you give up your desires. No. Desire is essential for life. Kamosti Bharadashama. Bhagavan himself says, desire is my, he says, me. Kamosti Bharadashama. Dharma viruddho. Dharma viruddha, he says. So it means in Purushartha you can see Dharma, Artha and Kama. Kama is desire. So therefore, we have to define it different way. And giving up the desires is impossible, and that is not mentioned in Shastras. That is not the intention of the Shastras. Give up your unnecessary desires. So now, what is necessary, what is unnecessary, we have to know. That is another story. We have to study and know from our elders or from Shastras or Gurus which are necessary thoughts for, necessary desires for me, and which are not. So giving up unnecessary desires and concentrating on the aim, the purpose of life, that is Vairagya. So I think our first section can conclude here. I will just continue some of the sutras in this section, and then we take up the next chapter. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.
We have